welcome back to my channel. I am Patricia. Thank you for joining me. I thought it would be super fun today if I went through and just updated you guys on my porch garden in the city. If you are new to my channel, I'm going to have linked down below my original gardening setup day where I got my porch garden ready for all of the city homesteading that I was going to do this summer, and I want to just give you guys a update on how everything is going, what's working, what's not working, what I would do again, does anything have any sort of fruits yet. I wanted to give you guys a big old update, so let's get into it. I do want to say to start, it is raining outside. I hope you can't hear that too much, and if it gets thundery, that is what you are hearing in the background. Okay, let's begin. So, going through, I'm probably going to have a list here up on the screen of all of the things that I planted this year. It was tomatoes, potatoes, herbs, flowers, the whole 9 yards, but like I said, I'm going to have a list up here so you guys can see what I'm referencing and what I'm talking about when you see the layover videos in the video. But starting up, I will do my tomatoes first because I was really worried about my tomatoes. I bought the smaller packs you can get at a home improvement store where you get 6 in a pack, like a flat almost, of tomatoes. I did that and I threw them all in one pot, and I've been kind of nervous about it because I know sometimes they can get really big, but I was like, I think I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. So I did, and they actually have worked out really well. My regular plain Jane tomatoes are already starting to bloom. I'm so excited about that. I have a couple of fruits that are starting to ripen on the vine. I'm super stoked. I'm not a big raw tomato eater, but I will eat them in soups and stuff, so I will probably end up canning most of what we get, and I will use them in soups and chilies and stuff in the winter and fall months. I also planted Roma tomatoes, which I'm starting to get fruits on as well. I'm very excited about those. The only tomatoes so far that aren't really doing super great, and mind you, some of the shots that you will see, my plants need to be watered. They've been a little bit behind, but like I said, it is raining today, so hopefully someone can get that water. I know my beefsteak tomatoes look a little bit wilted in these videos, or in these clips, but my beefsteak ones have not flowered. I haven't seen any fruits from them. I don't know where I went wrong with the beefsteak tomatoes. They're not as happy as the Roma and the regular tomatoes that I've planted. I'm not totally sure why. I'll give it a little bit of time. I'll see if maybe they're just late bloomers or what their situation could be, but so far the beefsteak are ones I probably would not plant again just because they didn't yield anything, or so far they haven't yielded anything for me, and I would rather have a plant that yields some fruit. So I don't know, like I said, why my beefsteaks haven't been too happy, but out of all of my tomatoes, that is one I would not plant again. I also planted a variety of peppers. My bell peppers are doing super good. I'm getting tons of little tiny little green fruits, and they look so cute and so adorable. I cannot wait to use them. They are going to be the absolute best. I did 2 varieties of peppers. I did regular bell peppers and then gypsy mini bell peppers, I believe they're called. I don't know what is wrong with the gypsy plant. It has totally turned and curved on its side. It's flowering. There are tiny little peppers coming off of it, but the way that the plant is sitting in the pot is just odd, and I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. Maybe you can let me know down in the comments why my plant might look like this, but it has not gotten very big. If you compare it to my regular bell pepper plant, my bell pepper plant is huge. It looks great, but my mini bell pepper, my little gypsy bell pepper plant, does not look as good. And like I said, there are flowers on it, but considering the plant looks a little bit off, I don't know how well those peppers are going to really germinate and grow, and they might just end up being really teeny tiny little peppers. I will have to see, but I would definitely do regular bell peppers again. I probably would stay away from the gypsy peppers in the future. The next thing I will talk about are my strawberries, because that is the only real fruit I am growing. We got one bigger container of strawberries from a local greenhouse, and then I got some other smaller strawberry plants from my mom. The tiny ones that I got from my mom are definitely producing fruits. They're very, very small, very tiny, very dinky. They are not yielding a lot in a single fruit itself. The one I got from the greenhouse actually produces fairly normal size, regular strawberries, and that has actually been producing most of my strawberries for me. I would definitely do strawberries again in the future. I would like to have even more. I think I would have to have a bigger spot or a bigger pot to put everything in, but I would for sure do them again in the future. I would want to have enough that I could yield enough to pick and then make jams or preserves and canned stuff that way. With the plants that I have, I probably won't be able to do that. I'm just not going to get enough. I get a handful maybe every 3 or 4 days, and by a handful it's probably like 2 strawberries. It really isn't that much, but I would definitely plant it again, and in the future I would do just more plants. Let's go over flowers next, because I did choose to grow some flowers this year. I did cosmos, alyssums, and another one that I am blanking on the name of. So far, all 3 of those have not really produced. Oh, impotens, that was the other one. The impotens are just sad. They have not grown, and again, I don't know what it is that I'm missing, and I thought maybe they were in too much shade. I've kind of put them in the light. There's some greenage coming off of the soil, but I'm not really sure what it is. It could just be random little weeds. I'm not really sure. Maybe they just take a really long time to germinate and then come into bloom, but I probably would not plant those again, especially to compare it with my cosmos and the alyssums that I have. They just look so vibrant and green, and I know that the florals will be coming eventually at some point, but then to look at the impotens when there's just pretty much nothing there, it's really discouraging. So I probably would not do those again. I'm really hoping to see some flowers soon from my other plants, and I also have some geraniums. We've had these geraniums since I think Mother's Day weekend. They're still holding on strong. It is almost July. They look great. I learned from my sister-in-law how to deadhead them correctly so that way new flowers keep coming, and they just look so beautiful hanging off of our front railing. And on that same thread, I will talk about my ferns, because this is the first time I've ever had ferns, and I really enjoy the look of ferns. I don't know if we're here next year at this time. I don't know if I will do ferns again. I'd really like to. I really enjoy the look of the ferns, but the front of the house gets more heat than I originally anticipated. I didn't think it was going to be as hot, so there is some sun damage on them, a little bit of burnt spots. They're still alive and they're doing well, and days when it's really hot, we do take them down and put them in the shade, but it's hotter than I realized, so I don't know if I would necessarily do them again or if I would just do a hanging basket of florals. I would have to think about that one over the winter and fall months. The last 2 items on my list are my herbs and my potatoes. Well, I have a random oddball one I'll throw in there at the end, but I have my herbs. I would absolutely 100% do my herbs again. My herbs look great. My parsley is thriving, my sage, my marjoram, everything looks so good, and I'm so impressed with how my potted herbs have come around. Again, things need water, so they look a little bit wilty. Normally they look a lot better than what I'm showing you here, but I would absolutely do all of the herbs that I did this summer again. I believe I did parsley, I did sage, I did basil, there's chives in there, marjoram, and I know I will not go through most of these during the summer months, but I'm very excited to dry them out. Drying out herbs is so easy. You don't need a dehydrator. I actually have a video, it'll be linked down below in the description box, of how you can dry your own herbs at home in the oven. Super duper easy, and that is how I'm going to be using most of those herbs again in the fall and winter months. I do use them, of course, for the summer when it's fresh, but I won't go through absolutely everything that I have, so I make it a point to dry a lot of my herbs for the fall and winter months. The last thing that I have before my bonus item is my potatoes. I don't even think my parents have ever grown potatoes, so I really was not sure what came with growing potatoes. I got the spuds and kind of just threw them in some dirt and hoped for the best, and the best has come. My potatoes look great. Ignorantly, I did not realize how much they grew above ground and how beautiful the purple florals are on these potatoes. They look great. They look so good. I have been so pleasantly surprised with how great everything has turned out with my potatoes. I would absolutely do them again. I'd really, really, really like to do sweet potatoes. I believe what I planted were red potatoes, like the smaller little red potatoes. So they're probably not going to be as big as like a hearty russet potato, but we do enjoy the tiny little red ones. And again, I would love to do next year sweet potatoes. They are my all-time favorite potato. I am not a huge russet person, but I love the tiny red potatoes and the sweet potatoes, so I would absolutely do them again. They have sat back against the wall against our house the entire time. They have never been in the direct sunlight, and they have absolutely been loving it, and I have been loving it. I would do them again in a heartbeat. The very last item that I have was one I was definitely not planning on getting or finding, but I made a trip with my husband and my in-laws to go see my sister-in-law a few months ago, and they were selling down in North Carolina in this greenhouse that we went to. They were selling fresh eucalyptus. I have never seen eucalyptus for sale in New York, and I probably never will. It's just not the climate to have it year-round. Obviously, we have winters, we have snow, it gets cold, we have frost, all the things. So I'm keeping it outside for the summer months, and I'm gonna try to keep it alive in the winter months indoors, but I love it. I'm so stoked to have eucalyptus. I love eucalyptus as a filler. I like to dry it, hang it in the shower. Eucalyptus is great. There's so many great uses for eucalyptus, and I am very pleased to have a plant of my very own. And that is everything on my porch garden. I really hope you enjoyed this video where I'm touching base on all the things that are happening with my city porch garden this summer on my city homestead. I am really looking forward to seeing everything fully come into bloom in the next couple of months, and just reaping the rewards of all of the hard work that comes from a garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I make 2 new videos every single week on all things sourdough, homemaking, and country living. Please go check out those videos that I mentioned that will be linked in the description box below, and I will see you in my next video.